Here's my video on removing an E46 starter. Most of the videos you see online or on YouTube will tell you to jack up the car, loosen up the trans mount, lower it by a couple inches, have a jack supporting it so that you can get in there with an extension and a torque socket to remove the starter bolt, which is right there. But me, on the other hand, I didn't jack up the car at all. All I did was use a 10mm open end, use the closed end, secure it on the bolt, and loosen it. You gotta use a little force, wear some protective gloves so you don't damage your hand, but loosen it. And that goes for the bottom bolt as well. The bottom bolt is over here. You put the closed end in, turn it out slowly, get the bolt loose, wiggle out the starter, and leave the bolts in the trans. Leave the bolts in the trans so that it's easier to put the starter back in, and you won't lose the bolts, and it won't give you a hard time putting the bolts back in, especially the bottom one right here. Just leave it inside. Pull the starter out, change the starter, and do the exact same thing as how you took it out, just in reverse order. Of course, before you even get to your starter, you're gonna have to take off the intake manifold, which you see mine's already off. That on its own is a lot of work, but you know what? I think it's good to take out the intake manifold because then you get to replace all your vacuum lines, especially like this, which from the heat cracked and broke off. And then your air system, you see this hose, that's broken. This is broken. This hose is no good. This hose, where's the other hose? These hoses no good. So take off your intake manifold, get some replacement hoses, and replace them while you're down there replacing your starter. Mine was idling kind of rough because I had cracked and broken hoses. So it's good that I'm doing a starter and replacing all the hoses at the same time. Make sure you take pictures and record what you did, because taking off the manifold is a lot of work. You don't want to get any screws or bolts in the wrong places. You don't want it falling into the intake ports right here. You do not want to get any crap inside. So that concludes my video. Remember, you don't need to jack up your car. Just put this closed end, take out the bolt. Mine's already loose. The bottom one's already loose on mine. All I gotta do is slowly loosen it and pull it out. I rather do it slowly than instead of being on the ground, laying on my back and having to jack up my car and taking off the heat shield and all that stuff that requires to get to the trans mount. Well, that's it. Shoots.